Hello there, everyone. Here we are, Lunch for the Soul. I'm Melissa Wilson with Fox 26 News, ready to introduce you to an incredible story with such a testimony, it's almost hard to believe. So let's get right to it. I want to please welcome, here we go, Cody and Mallory. Hello, welcome to Lunch for the Soul.
Hi.
Thanks for having us.
Oh my goodness. I want to start from the beginning and then get to the crazy part of your testimony. And again, people aren't going to believe it. So, Cody, let's start with you with how your childhood started up and what you love to do. I'm going to show one of my favorite photos right here. I mean, this is you in action.
Yes.
It's incredible. So you started roping when you were just a little guy, huh? How did that start?
Yes, I was born into a big rodeo family. Started with my grandpa. He learned how to rope whenever he was young, and then just taught my dad and his brother, my uncle. And then also on my mom's side, my mom grew up running barrels, roping breakaway, team roping, everything. So I was born into it. So I'm sure as soon as I could uh, use my hands, I'm sure they had a rope in my hands, just learning what to do.
It's all in the family. And who is this fine gentleman with you?
That is actually my grandpa. That's
Ah,
the root of it all right there.
he's the one who started it all in the family.
Yes.
Oh, I love it. And you look just to be a natural as we look at these photos. I mean, how neat to be able to work alongside each other. I know that has to be so meaningful.
Yes.
All right. Well, now let's bring in the dramatic part of all this. So we'll start with the wedding. So that was recently. When did you get married?
Yes, we got married October 12th. Uh, Beautiful, just as you can see, beautiful courthouse behind us and everything.
And you are such a beautiful bride. Oh my goodness, Mallory, it looks
Thank
so
you.
pretty. And I can just feel the love in this picture. It just makes me so happy, getting good hugs, a little kissy poo. How much did that day mean to you?
It meant the world. Um, just meant that I got to spend the rest of my life with my best friend. She's been there for the past 4 years, and just now I know she'll be there forever.
Oh, that's awesome. And you met in high school, is that right?
Yes.
And you've been together ever since. Well, I think it's a super magical relationship. Okay, so then you got married. We showed those. You had a fun honeymoon. You went to Paladora Canyon. I love that place, by the way. You
Yes,
were
it is
smart to
beautiful.
go when it's not so hot. I was there in the summer, and that's when they have all the warning signs. If you don't take a few quarts or gallons of water, you'll die. And it literally says that. You
Yes.
Yes.
probably saw some of those signs.
Yes.
So it was super special. I see your wedding rings here.
Yes, it was a lot of fun. Like you said, we had plenty of water with us, snacks, everything. Uh,
It's
it
a
was just
hike,
amazing out
isn't
there.
it? I mean, it's a workout.
Yes, it is.
So you were feeling good. You're on top of the world right here, right?
Yes.
I love it. And just having a good old time. Were you feeling good at this point?
Oh yeah, I was feeling great. Just
Not
normal day.
emotionally, but even physically, you felt good hiking because it is a strenuous hike.
Yes, I felt great. Even whenever we got to the end of the trail there was a bunch of rocks and stuff, and I was climbing all up on them, and Mallory was telling me, "Get down! Don't be doing that. You're gonna get hurt." And I just kept climbing.
Oh, I love it. Well, you're an adventurous soul, it sounds like. So that's a lot
Yes.
of fun.
Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about what happens when you get back. Got married, you went on the fun honeymoon, you come back the next day, you go to work, you both go to work, and then what?
Yes, we got back on the 18th, just unpacked, settled into home. Um, and the next day, went to work. I talked to Mallory about 1 o'clock about my mom's birthday dinner. It was actually my mom's birthday that day. So we talked about dinner plans, and it got all canceled. So I was just letting her know. And then we got on the phone because I had to get back to work. And 5 minutes later, she got a phone call that I was unresponsive.
You were unresponsive because you actually died because you went into cardiac arrest.
Yes.
You were with the absolute perfect person to bring you back to life. Tell me about that.
Yes, my coworker, he was just truly a blessing to be there, be with me. I told Mallory, I don't know if there is a good timing, but that was definitely the best timing that it could have happened. I was with him, and he was able to do everything he needed to do to keep me here where I am.
And you're so young, and it's such a shock to hear about something happening like this. And I know your doctor said that you aren't a drinker, you're not a smoker, you exercise all the time, and you have to be a roper. So you don't have any of the things that could possibly lead to this at your age. So what did they end up figuring out?
Right now, it's just kind of a mystery. They found some stuff, a gene in my genetic testing that came back that's related to arrhythmia. They said it's not a perfect fit or a perfect match, but they said they think it could be linked to the same thing.
My goodness. And so at least you have an answer. I know they're still working to figure it out to make sure that you don't go through this. And then let's talk about the treatment plan, about what happened then. So you probably don't remember a lot. What is the last thing you remember? Do you remember being in pain or anything at all? What was the
Uh,
last thing you remember that fateful day?
no, that day, I kind of vaguely remember talking to Mallory on the phone. I don't remember a lot from that day. I don't
Mhm.
know if it's because I was asleep for 6 days after that or what, but I don't remember much from that day. But I do remember talking to her on the phone, telling her that we weren't going to dinner that night,
Mhm.
and then I just woke up in the hospital.
And then I think about how hard that had to be for you, Mallory. You're a newlywed. You had just gotten back from your honeymoon. What are you going through at this moment?
Definitely was surprising. Like I was eating lunch when we were talking, and he was like, "Okay, like I just got to this job that he was working on." He was like, "I'll give you a call when I leave here," and then 5 minutes later, the owner of his company he worked for called me and was like, "Cody's unresponsive. Do you have any idea why?" And I was like, "No, because on our honeymoon we actually went all around Texas, from Palo Duro to Dripping Springs, Wimberley, all over, and hiked a bunch of different places." And so I was like, we were hiking miles like a few days ago. And so I'm like, now this just it didn't seem real. And then when we got to the hospital, it was just kind of like, I think everyone was confused because they were like, does he do anything? Does he smoke? Does he drink? Does he drink a lot of energy drinks? And I'm like, no, 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 no. Like he doesn't have anything that could even remotely make this make sense.
Mhm.
So I think I was just more surprised more than anything, or just shocked.
Did doctors feel at all that perhaps all of that was too much for your heart? Or what were they thinking about that, Cody?
I'm not really sure. Like I said, even after I woke up in the hospital, I still don't remember a whole lot.
Mhm.
So Mallory might be able to answer that a little better.
What did
Yes,
they say about that?
I did bring it up to them and told them, we hiked like 10 miles one day, and then we were hiking, just a lot. But their biggest question was like, what's that out of the norm for him? Which really is not. We bought a house in August, and so he would work normal hours, like 8 to 5, and then come home and we would build fence or be working on building our barn. And so he's, really us hiking, like we went to sleep at good times, woke up at good times. I'm like, really, we weren't overdoing it as far as activeness, and he's been active forever. And so I didn't personally think he was out hiking me. And so, he didn't show any signs of being tired or anything. And so
Right.
they said they don't necessarily think that could have been it, but it also could boil down to just it building up over time, doing so much, overworking after work, during work, and then just the whole week of just being out and about and driving a lot. So
But no matter what, it seems like it was going to happen. It was just a matter of time of when it all took place. Well, we say these marriage vows, and how scary was that? Did those come to your mind as such a young bride of, I mean, heaven forbid to death do us part, because he died for a moment.
yes, it's not, I mean, I guess you don't say them lightly, so you do put thought into them, but not anything that I thought would be recent. Like I said, I always in my mind was like, he's almost like a pillar of health. And so
Right.
when it was, a week later, it was the opposite. It was like, this is crazy. And so I
Thinking
think
sickness and in health, you were probably picturing you being elderly, right?
pretty much, I hate to say that, but yes, I definitely thought that we would be older. And while he was in the hospital, he actually now it's been 7 or 8 times that he's actually went into cardiac arrest. So it's been several times. Just
And
over
wait, how many times? 7 or 8?
Yes, I think it was 8 times, counting the first initial one. But I guess the 7 times after the first time, he's had the ICD. So it's been all within like 30 seconds. But he still goes out and then comes back. And so we got to relive that over a few times. So I think it's just more surprised, not what I was expecting from a couple months in.
Well, and thank goodness for that device so that it stopped. So tell us a little more about Cody, about what they implanted and what it's doing to help you.
Yes, they implanted they call it like a combo device. It's a defibrillator and a pacemaker. So if my heart starts pacing lower than they want it to be at, it'll pace my heart up to the rhythm that they want it at. And then also if it detects off rhythm or VFib, as in my case, it will shock my heart back into a normal, perfect rhythm.
And once you had that in your chest and you have felt that all of these different times, what did that feel like for you when it was going off? Could you tell something was happening? I would think it would be pretty dramatic.
Yes, we've been calling them episodes. Whenever the episodes happen, I get real dizzy and just basically black out. So I've only really felt it shock one time, and I'm very glad of that because it definitely shocks hard and it hits hard.
Yeah.
So
Have you noticed a certain time of day or anything that you're doing, or has it been fairly random of when it goes off again?
Definitely random. 5 of the 7 times have been actually in the hospital. So I was just, laying in a bed or sitting in a chair.
Well, that was nice timing to make you feel comforted, right? You can immediately get some help.
Yes, that's the best place it could happen, I guess. And then the other 2 times, I was just walking. One time I was at work, just walking, wasn't carrying anything or doing anything strenuous or anything like that. And then the other time, I was here at home, just normally walking and felt dizzy. And luckily, I sat down both of those times and was close to the ground, so I just didn't completely fall and hit my head or cause any more damage to be done.
And then what happens when it goes off? Are you supposed to go to the hospital or do you call your doctor, or what's the follow-up to that?
Yes, I'm supposed to go into the just like the
clinic.
Just the clinic, yes. And just kind of check it out, see if they can see what happened, if there's something going on. And I went in one time. It happened twice in 1 week. And I went in the first time, and they were like, "Okay, let's just take it easy for a little bit." And so I came back home and was just resting. And the second time is whenever it happened here at home. So then they said, "Okay, let's go into the emergency room and let's kind of dig a little deeper."
And you met with what is called an electrophysiologist, is that right? I want to make sure I get it right, at Memorial Hermann, and all of these appointments where these amazing doctors have been helping save your life is at Memorial Hermann. Did they performed another procedure?
Yes, actually my electrophysiologist, same one that placed in my ICD, he did my most recent ablation. So we
Hopefully
really
that
love
gets
him.
everything ticking just right. Is that the plan?
Yes, he was extremely confident with this last ablation. Before we went into the ablation, he came into the room and talked to me and everything. He looked at me and said, "Let's get this stuff knocked out." And that made me feel really good.
Yeah, I bet it did. Let's talk about how your faith comes into all of this. So the first 6 days, Cody, you're out. Mallory, how did you deal with the emotions of all this? Did you turn to prayer? How did your faith come out to help you through this really tough time as a new bride, a newlywed?
Yes, definitely turned a lot. It at first was overwhelming just because didn't know what was happening. Why did this happen? And then, of course, there's 100 people calling wanting to know the latest update. So I did turn to Facebook just to keep everybody updated. And from there, it turned into like a giant prayer warrior page pretty much. And so just me personally seeing all of that, I can think gave me more strength to pray and put more hope into faith and focus on that rather than, looking at the mess that was sitting in front of us at the time. So we had a lot of people praying for him and reaching out to me with prayers and different verses and songs. And so really it was between, basically our community and family and friends that helped not only just myself personally, but like reinforce just keeping the faith. It's so hard. It's easy to say I trust God and what his plan and what he has for me. But when you're thrown in a situation like that, I think it's just natural to have a million, why me? Why is this happening? Why him? Why right now? And so a lot of whys, but big group of people supported that, and I guess brought me back down to, this is what's happening. You can't change it, but here's what you can do about it. And so definitely helped me a lot, especially when I couldn't talk to him. So I had to talk to somebody else.
Well, and if you look at the stats of people who survive cardiac arrest, the numbers are very, very scarily low. Very few people survive it. You have to be with the right person, like you were, Cody, as you know. And in fact, your own doctor told us that it's very surprising that you're alive, that it usually doesn't happen. Someone who goes to cardiac arrest doesn't usually make it to the hospital. How does that make you all feel as far as your faith is concerned, that you have a second chance at life?
Yes, I've definitely thought about that a lot. And while I know my friend was there and helped me with CPR and everything, I know there was a lot better, lot stronger force in there as well. The Lord was definitely looking over us, and it could have been a lot worse, but we just deal with what we were handed.
Yeah. And how thankful are you for your medical team who's really helped walk you through this and figured out how to keep you alive, since you've been through it so many times now?
Yes. Yeah, they're awesome. We love all of them, even all the nurses and stuff we've had. The most recent time I went back into the hospital, I had a lot of the same nurses and stuff. So they would come in and just, you're happy to see each other. Like they kept saying, we're happy to see you, but not really here.
Yeah.
But everybody's so nice and so amazing, and just.
And there are a lot of Memorial Hermann locations around. Which one do you frequent?
The downtown.
Downtown, so and the Texas Medical Center.
Yes.
That's not where you want to have frequent flyer miles, but at least they're dependable and they're really helping you, right?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Well, so let's talk about the future. We got to get you back out here and getting ready for the rodeo. Are you all ready for the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo? I understand. I heard you went like 7 times last year, right?
Yes, we went a lot.
How about this year?
We're actually going tomorrow night. And then Mallory and a couple of her friends are going later on. But that's really all we have planned this year. It's not too many trips.
Yeah, I've taken it easy a little bit. So did your doctor say, what is it, about a year, they think, before you'll really be able to rope again?
Yes, he said within the year, within the next year.
Because you don't want to end up here, right?
No,
even with the thumbs up. How good, Mallory, does it feel good, even though he has a smile on his face in that hospital bed, to have him out of there?
Yes. So we were always counting the days. We actually had 3 trips in the hospital. The first one was 10 days. The second one was 11 days. And then the next one was 8 days. So it ended up being 30 days. So we were excited once we were able to go home. But a lot of those pictures were actually, that was like when he woke up, pretty much, that picture was. And the other ones with him giving a thumbs up were right before he went into a procedure. So
yes, it wasn't right after, when he was out for a while.
Definitely made him smile for that one.
Yeah, well, it's nice to see that smile and just to see you on the other side of this. And did doctors have any idea, now that you had the ablation, that this will keep happening, or do they think that nipped it in the bud and those episodes are over now?
They're confident that they got it nipped in the bud and just all fixed up.
Good. Well, very good. Well, I hope you enjoy the rodeo season. It takes your mind off of everything. And then, do you have a particular rodeo? I know you do a lot of them up on the north side of town. Anything you have in mind? Any goals once you get back on that horse and get out there and rope again?
Just to be as successful as I can. I've always wanted to be, rope as fast as I can, just be successful.
Well, you'll do it. I have complete faith in you. Well, you're just such a lovely couple. Thank you for sharing your journey with us. An honor to be able to share your testimony and to see you on the other side of things. It's awesome.
Yes, for sure. Well, thank you for having us.
Yes. Well, it's like I said, it's a true honor. Well, you take care. Only good help from now on. Medical reporters order. You got it?
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, take care and thank you again so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. And I hope you'll join us next week. I want to remind you every Wednesday, 12:30, join me right here for Lunch for the Soul. And if you happen to join us late, I want to make sure you know you can always go to our Fox 26 YouTube page, and that's where you can find all kinds of Lunch for the Souls from the past year. It's always an inspirational person or a couple, like in this case, just giving us a glimpse into the things that we all go through at some point in life, but how faith plays a role in that journey, how we can truly dig deep and find that faith over fear. It's really hard to do sometimes, but I feel like when we have a couple like Cody and Mallory really cheering us on and reminding us that we can do it, then we can do it together, right? So I hope you'll join me again next week, same time, same place, right here. So have a beautiful day. If you have any ideas, you can always reach out to me, fox26houston.com. There you can find my email. I hope to hear from you. Bye-bye.